You're listening to a podcast by the Perennial Leader Project. Welcome back to Dying Every Day, Stoicism in a Year. We've made it to day 94, and we're exploring one of the Stoic paradoxes from the Roman statesman and philosopher Cicero. But before we get started, I want to take a moment and say thank you to the Perennial Meditations members that make this podcast possible and ad-free. If you enjoy what I'm doing here and would like to support, I'll put a link in the show notes so it's easy to find with a few different options to become a Perennial Meditations member. And you can also learn more at perennial.substack.com. All right, without any further delay, let's get to today's passage. According to Cicero and the Stoics, quote, "No one is free except for the wise man. But what is freedom? It is the power to live as you wish to live. The man who really lives is the man who wants nothing except to follow the right path, who finds satisfaction in his responsibility, whose way of living is well considered and provided, who follows the law not out of fear, but follows and defers to them because he judges them to be most conducive to the collective health, who says nothing, does nothing, and thinks nothing except what is free and volitional, whose every plan and action which he does all follow from this and are traceable to this, and there are no other things which dominate him more than his own will and power of judgment." Unquote. And this passage comes from Stoic paradoxes. Where do you find satisfaction? Is it in following the right path? Do you know the, quote, right path from the wrong one? The Stoics stress that wisdom is the path to liberation. Without it, no one is truly free. For the Stoics, true wealth is found in wisdom. Cicero explains, "The wealth is the mind of man, not his bank account. Even though it may be full of money, I will not think of you as rich as long as I perceive you as empty." Take a moment and ask yourself, how do you define wealth? Furthermore, how do you measure wealth? In Seneca's On Tranquility of Mind, he observed, quote, "Everyone experiences the same problem. People are harassed by instability, boredom, and constant change of purpose, who always prefer what they have left behind, and others who wilt and yawn. Add another group who toss and turn like insomniacs and change position this way and that until they find rest from sheer exhaustion." Unquote. Although counterintuitive, the lesson here is that wisdom or virtue is the only good. It is true wealth and the only path to freedom. As a daily exercise, I invite you to reflect or journal on the connection between freedom and wisdom. You could ask yourself, how do I think about or define true wealth on a consistent basis? Or what does it mean to, quote, follow the right path in modern life? Thank you for listening to Dying Every Day, Stoicism in a Year. I hope you found something useful for daily life. If you enjoy what we're doing here and want to support the project, consider becoming a Perennial Meditations member. And finally, as always, I urge you to put what you heard into practice. Until next time, be wise and be well.